Well now, as chair of the month, I hereby call this staff meeting to order.
You want to re-bless the meeting, Father?
MASH wasn't just a hit TV show. It became a cultural phenomenon that redefined television forever. But behind the laughter, heartache, and iconic theme song lies a treasure trove of bizarre and unexpected secrets you've probably never heard. From cast feuds and unscripted moments to hidden messages and shocking behind-the-scenes drama, the story of MASH is far stranger than fiction. Whether you're a longtime fan or just discovering it, prepare to uncover 20 weird facts about the legendary 1972 series that'll completely change how you see the show. Number 20. The War That Lasted Way Too Long. MASH ran on television for an astounding 11 seasons, from 1972 to 1983. That adds up to a total of 251 episodes. Here's the twist. The real Korean War, which the show is based on, lasted only 3 years, from June 1950 to July 1953. So essentially, the fictional 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital was fighting a war for almost 4 times the length of the actual conflict. By season 4, MASH had run out of real war stories, so writers began creating original plots. This shift allowed deeper exploration of characters' emotions and relationships, making fans more connected to them than the war itself. Despite actors aging in a 3-year timeline, the show embraced the irony, turning it into a humorous, endearing part of its charm. Another fact I bet you didn't know is the appearance of a famously flamboyant soldier. Who is he? Let's find out. Number 19. Klinger's Evolution. Corporal Klinger, the famously flamboyant soldier often seen in dresses, was only supposed to show up in 1 episode of MASH. At first, his character was written as openly gay, but everything changed when actor Jamie Farr brought Klinger to life with such charm and wit that the writers gave him a new backstory. Instead of being gay, Klinger became a straight man, hilariously trying to get discharged by pretending to be mentally unstable, using outrageous outfits as his main tactic. Interestingly, this bizarre idea wasn't entirely fictional. It was inspired by a real-life story. Comedian Lenny Bruce once claimed he used the same trick to get out of the Navy. So, what about Radar? Let's delve into the details surrounding the return of this character. Number 18. Radar's Return. When MASH transitioned from a 1970 film directed by Robert Altman to a TV series, almost every character was recast, except for one, Gary Berghoff, who played the gentle, quirky company clerk, Radar O'Reilly. His performance in the movie was so unique and beloved that TV producers couldn't imagine anyone else playing Radar. But Berghoff didn't automatically get the job. He had to audition again and prove that he could carry the role in a weekly television format. Once hired, Berghoff helped bridge the tone and essence of the original film into the television world. Radar's character was deeply expanded in the series, evolving from comic relief to one of the show's emotional heartbeats. Gary Berghoff's lasting role as Radar gave MASH continuity and depth. His emotional Season 8 departure was so impactful, the writers honored it with a heartfelt 2-part farewell, one of the series' most touching moments. Here is another fact you can't afford to miss. Is it about some behind-the-scene decisions? Let's find out. Number 17. The Almost Hawkeye. Did you know that McLean Stevenson, the actor who stole hearts as the kind and quirky Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, originally tried out for a completely different role? He actually auditioned to play the sharp-witted Hawkeye Pierce. But producers saw something special in him and convinced him to bring Blake to life instead. And here's another twist. Famous comedian Robert Klein was offered the role of Trapper John, but turned it down. Over the years, whispers spread that he regretted the choice, but Klein has firmly dismissed those claims. These behind-the-scenes decisions shaped MASH into the legendary show we know and love today. There seems to be something unique about MASH, especially with the approach used in entertaining the audience. Let's delve into the details of one of such scenes. Number 16. Silence in the operating room. MASH dared to break one of the cardinal rules of the 70s television, the laugh track. While most comedies of that era depended heavily on canned laughter to cue audience reactions, MASH took a different route. Specifically, during the scenes set in the operating room, there was no laugh track at all. The decision to remove laugh tracks from operating room scenes in MASH was bold and met with resistance from CBS. Showrunners insisted it was inappropriate during intense life-or-death moments. CBS eventually agreed, leading to more emotional and realistic scenes. This powerful blend of comedy and drama helped create the dramedy genre, setting a new standard for storytelling in television and inspiring many shows that came after. Even today, film students study MASH's approach to sound design. It showed that less can be more, and that audiences don't need to be spoon-fed emotional cues. They just need good storytelling. Another weird fact is the writer's clever protest. Why and how did it happen? Let's dive into the details. Number 15. Writer's revenge with heavy parkas. Tired of the actors constantly demanding changes to the script, writer Ken Levine and his team decided to fight back in a clever, hilarious way. Instead of arguing, they rewrote scenes to take place outside, even though it was the middle of summer on the scorching Malibu set. But here's the twist. They made the characters wear heavy winter parkas in those scenes. The heat was brutal, and sweating through layers of thick clothing made the cast quickly rethink their picky requests. Without saying a word, the writers sent a bold message, and it worked. The endless script tweaks finally came to a stop, thanks to this smart, silent protest. The location of the set is another weird fact you probably didn't know. Where was it captured? Let's dig into the details. Number 14. A set in the mountains. While the show is set in war-torn Korea, the outdoor scenes of MASH were actually filmed at Malibu Creek State Park, in California's Santa Monica Mountains. The production team transformed the rugged location into the 4077th MASH unit, complete with tents, a helipad, and makeshift military buildings. Filming conditions were tough. The team endured blazing heat in the summer and bone-chilling cold in the winter. Wildlife often strolled onto the set, sometimes causing delays. But the environment's natural beauty and its resemblance to Korea made the show more visually authentic. Today, fans still visit the area, where a commemorative plaque marks the spot. Even though most of the set has been dismantled, the location remains a pilgrimage site for MASH enthusiasts. Would you believe that real-life veterans actually featured in MASH? Who are they? Let's dig into the details. Number 13. Real-life veterans in the cast. Did you know some of the MASH stars had real military experience? Alan Alda actually served in the U.S. Army and spent 6 months stationed in Korea. Yes, the same country where the show is set. Jamie Farr was also in the Army and posted in Japan, until comedy legend Red Skelton chose him for a USO tour in Korea. Wayne Rogers wore the Navy uniform in real life, while Mike Farrell served as a proud Marine. These weren't just actors playing soldiers, they had lived the life. Their genuine military backgrounds gave their roles a powerful, realistic touch that made MASH unforgettable. An unforgettable action hit the entire nation hard. What happened? Let's delve into the details of that unforgettable moment. Number 12. The Farewell That Stopped a Nation. On February 28, 1983, the final episode of MASH, titled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, aired on CBS. It was no ordinary broadcast. With a jaw-dropping 105.9 million viewers, it became the most watched TV episode in American history at the time, a record it held for nearly 30 years. The finale was a full 2.5-hour event and was treated like a national holiday. Bars and restaurants stayed unusually quiet. Families gathered. Viewers laughed and cried together. CBS charged top dollar for advertising during the episode. The finale didn't just say goodbye to a show, it gave closure to stories that had been unfolding for over a decade. Critics loved it. Fans wept. And the template was set for future series finales. If you're going to end a beloved show, do it with heart, depth, and a proper goodbye. Why did the movie continue after the war was over? Let's talk about the phases MASH passed through. Number 11. The spin-offs. Did you know that MASH didn't just end when the war was over? It sparked 3 spin-offs, each taking beloved characters in bold new directions. First came Trapper John, MD, between 1979 and 1986, exploring the post-war life of Trapper as a seasoned surgeon in San Francisco, though played by a different actor, not Wayne Rogers. Then there was After MASH, which followed Colonel Potter, Father Mulcahy, and Corporal Klinger as they adjusted to civilian life while working in a veterans hospital. Sadly, it lasted only 2 seasons. Lastly, Walter, a one-time special in 1984, gave us a glimpse into Radar's troubled life as a heartbroken cop in St. Louis. But another weird fact you might not know about MASH is the fact that one of the actors also doubled as the director. Let's dig into the details. Number 10. Alan Alda, actor and director. Alan Alda wasn't just the face of MASH as Hawkeye Pierce, he also became one of its most active directors. He directed 32 episodes over the series' run, including the emotionally charged finale. His directing journey began in Season 3. Balancing acting and directing required long hours and serious focus. Alda would spend up to 16 hours on set, switching between roles behind and in front of the camera. Alan Alda's directing emphasized emotional realism and character-driven storytelling over special effects. His acclaimed episodes became fan favorites, and he inspired other actors to direct. Winning Emmys for both acting and directing, Alda proved that TV stars could successfully excel behind the camera, as well as in front of it. The movie featured some characters who had unusual names. Who were they? Let's delve into the details of this weird fact. Number 9. Unusual patient names. By the time MASH reached its 7th season, the writers had run out of ideas for naming the countless patients passing through the 4077th. To keep things interesting, they got creative, borrowing names from the 1978 Los Angeles Dodgers roster. Not just the players, but even the coaches and team owner made it into the script under the radar. But the surprises didn't stop there. Writer Ken Levine added a personal twist by slipping in the names of a few of his ex-girlfriends. It was a quirky blend of baseball and personal history, turning an ordinary naming task into a hidden game for sharp-eyed fans. Another thing you might find weird about MASH is the theme music. What is the big deal with the theme song? Let's find out. Number 8. The theme song with dark lyrics. MASH's opening theme, that hauntingly beautiful tune, is known to fans worldwide. But did you know it actually has lyrics? The original version, called Self-Harm is Painless, was written for the 1970 film by Mike Altman, the 14-year-old son of the movie's director. The lyrics are dark, touching on self-harm as a response to unbearable suffering. Understandably, CBS decided this was too heavy for weekly family TV, so only the instrumental version was used for the series. Choosing the haunting melody was brilliant. It conveyed the show's bittersweet tone perfectly. International versions used the full song, altering its impact. Ironically, young Mike Altman earned more from its royalties than his director father. Covered by many artists, the theme became a lasting piece of pop culture history. Did you know that MASH featured many that grew into Hollywood stars? Let's dive further into this weird fact. Number 7. Celebrity cameos. The MASH set wasn't just home to legendary characters, it quietly became a launchpad for Hollywood's future elite. Over the years, a surprising lineup of soon-to-be famous stars made guest appearances. A young Ron Howard showed up as a fresh-faced Marine. Comedy icon Leslie Nielsen took on the role of a colonel, and that's just the beginning. Big names like John Ritter, Lawrence Fishburne, Pat Morita, Shelley Long, Ed Begley Jr., Rita Wilson, even the bold Andrew Dice Clay, all stepped into the spotlight on MASH before rising to fame. It's almost as if the show had a hidden talent for spotting future legends before the world knew their names. Another weird fact about the movie is the sudden disappearance of some actors. What was responsible for it? Let's dig into the details. Number 6. Dramatic departures. Actors McLean Stevenson, Henry Blake, and Wayne Rogers, Trapper John, left MASH after 3 seasons, largely due to creative frustrations. They felt sidelined by Alda's growing influence and wanted more prominent storylines. Their exits shook viewers, especially Blake's, whose death in a plane crash was a major narrative shock and nearly unheard of in sitcoms at the time. Trapper John, on the other hand, was quietly rotated out without much fanfare. New characters, B.J. Honeycutt, Mike Farrell, and Colonel Potter, Harry Morgan, were introduced and successfully maintained the show's chemistry. These bold casting changes helped keep the series fresh and emotionally grounded, showing that MASH was unafraid to tackle loss and change, just like real life. Do you think the racial difference has any effect on the movie or the actors? Let's delve into the details. Number 5. Ethnic casting challenges. Back when Hollywood had very few Korean actors, filmmakers often gave Korean roles to actors from other Asian backgrounds. This led to some surprising casting choices in popular shows like MASH. For instance, Rosalind Chow, who played Klinger's wife, Soon Lee, was actually Chinese-American, not Korean. Mako Iwamatsu, a talented actor from Japan, took on many different Asian roles, including Chinese doctors and even North Korean soldiers. The only actor of true Korean heritage on the show was Soon Taek-oh. But even he wasn't always placed in fitting roles. He often used a South Korean accent, even when playing Northern characters. These casting decisions show how much Hollywood struggled with accurate representation, often blurring cultural lines just to fill a role. It reminds us of how far the industry has come and how far it still has to go in giving authentic voices to the people behind the characters. But was MASH able to win an award? When did it happen? What about the actors? Let's take a quick ride into the details. Number 4. Emmy royalty. During its 11-season run, MASH was nominated for a whopping 109 Emmy Awards and won 14 of them. It won Outstanding Comedy Series 3 times in the mid-70s and racked up wins for writing, directing, acting, and even technical categories like editing and sound. Alan Alda himself took home 5 Emmys for his various roles in the show. Guest stars were often nominated too, showing how high the bar was for performances across the board. The show's consistent recognition helped elevate it beyond entertainment into what we now call prestige television. It wasn't just another sitcom, it was art, and those awards made that clear. Did you also know that MASH attempted to change the norm with a different filming style? Let's delve into the details. Number 3. Revolutionary filming style. Unlike many other sitcoms of its era, MASH dared to break the norm. It wasn't filmed in front of a live studio audience. Instead of the usual brightly lit sound stages filled with laughter cues, the creators aimed for something far more authentic. They chose the rugged natural landscapes of the Malibu Mountains to shoot most of the outdoor scenes. This bold decision gave the series a raw, realistic look that matched its emotional depth. The dusty roads, sweeping hills, and open skies made you feel like you were right there with the medics in war-torn Korea. It wasn't just about comedy. It was about capturing the hardship, humanity, and hope woven into every moment. By steering away from artificial settings and canned laughter, MASH created an immersive world that was both heartbreakingly real and darkly humorous, something truly unique in the world of television at the time. Another weird fact about MASH was the exit of one of the actors. Why did he leave? Let's find out. Number 2. Radar's poignant goodbye. When Gary Berghoff finally left MASH, it wasn't because of a scandal or fight. He simply wanted to spend more time with his family and explore other interests, like wildlife photography. The writers honored his decision with a beautiful, 2-part farewell episode. Fans were heartbroken, but understood. Radar had grown from comic relief into one of the show's emotional anchors. His innocence, kindness, and loyalty made him a fan favorite. Even after his departure, Berghoff occasionally returned for guest appearances, showing there was no bad blood. His exit marked a significant shift in the show's tone, reminding everyone that even in fictional wars, goodbyes still hurt. An unforgettable moment was an accident that became part of the story. What happened? How was it managed? Let's dive into the details. Number 1. The fire that became part of the story. Back in October 1982, a devastating wildfire swept through Malibu Creek, tearing down much of the outdoor set where the iconic TV series MASH was filmed. Rather than seeing it as a setback, the producers turned tragedy into creativity. They cleverly wove the fire into the storyline of the series' emotional final episode, presenting it as the aftermath of an enemy bombing. This powerful twist not only brought the story to a dramatic close, but also mirrored the unpredictability of war. Today, the charred remains of that famous set haven't been forgotten. Instead, they've become a quiet yet cherished landmark, preserved within Malibu Creek State Park. Fans of the show often hike the trail just to stand where their favorite scenes once came to life. It's a place where fiction meets history, where the past continues to echo with the laughter, tears, and legacy of MASH. So, which of these facts do you think is the most weird? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.